Hey, if you're still playing this game in 2020, 22 years after its release, you probably think you know everything about it. But there's an interesting glitch that I don't think has been documented anywhere online. I actually learned it from an old friend of mine, and I don't know how he found it. He must have just been really bored and pulled it off. But, so, you want to go to Chucky's glasses, and you want to go into Tommy's room, and pick up this block right here, with circle. And all the glitches I'm about to do today are used by this block. So, I forgot the controls of this game. So, what you can do is throw the block and run into it at the same time. And as you're climbing onto it, Chucky will clip onto whatever the block is kind of clipped into. It's hard to pull off, and I don't know how my friend figured this out. Boom. There you go. And now he's stuck in the ceiling like that. You can't move, you can only turn. You can jump off, though. You gotta jump. And that's not gonna work either. Oh, camera's getting real close. I haven't taken it this far before. Maybe we can get down. Yeah, a lot of glitches like this will result in you just having to reset the level. You can't really get out of them. So I'm gonna do that. Alright, now that we're back in the level, so I guess I'll talk about the glitch a little bit. So you have to be running while throwing. So the best way to do it is to throw and then start running into the block to attempt to climb up onto it. That's usually the best way. Because if you don't, then Chucky will just bump into the block. So I'll show a few more instances from this level. So you can really try it on any wall or object. Not all of them work. Like if you just do it against a normal wall, he's not really going to clip into it. It tends to be objects that have a top to them. So here's another area I like to try. It's best to get a line with R1. So throw, and then you clip. I don't know if you can get in. It does take some trial and error. Alright, we're in. And now we can see outside. Oh, and a little bit downstairs. Oh, and you can just run right out. So you can do it against this shelf right here, which is next to the counter I just tried. So you throw, you go up. Nope, it didn't work. Boom. Get teleported upstairs. So this could potentially be some sort of... Actually, no, it's not a speedrunning tactic at all, because you gotta go upstairs to grab the block. Unless you like went upstairs, grabbed it, and brought it down for later, but yeah, it's not any kind of speedrunning with that. Sometimes you'll get the block stuck out of bounds, and then you'll have to restart to get it back. But here's the granddaddy of them all. You can't go outside because it's apparently raining, which it's not, but this is the most interesting one we could find. You can get outside. It's really hard to pull off, though. The issue is also the block bounces when it hits the wall, so you want to have no space between you and the wall so that you can then climb into it. So like I'm right up against the wall, but then it kind of pushes you back a little. And when you go to throw it, it bumps you too. So it is hard. You can sort of move as you're throwing it too, and that helps. There we go. Okay, so I was kind of a distance away, and then I threw it. It takes a lot of finesse to get down. But we're outside, and I haven't seen it this bright because I'm playing this on a PS3, and I've only seen it on like CRTs on a PS1, and on my old TV it was so dark. But we'll explore a little bit. I mean, it's just the backyard, but a little darker. The lighting's kind of weird down here. Spike's doghouse isn't here. But there's collision on the walls. The only other thing you can do... Oh, never mind. So I always thought you needed the block. I'm remembering wrong, but I thought you needed the block to go up in the bushes, but because the collision isn't proper, yeah, you can just walk right up on top of the bushes, and like, you see these particles coming out? It's hard to tell what they are, but they look like hands of a clock, like 3 different colored hands of a clock, which are definitely some placeholder items. There we go, now you can get a good look. I'm holding up to run into the wall, but he's staying still and all these particles are coming out. That's what they look like to me, or like RGB testing arrows or something like that. And then another oddity over here is this blue spot, which Chucky just bumps up against, so it's kind of a wall. You can't pick it up. Nothing works, but it also has the same particles that come out. That's what they do look like, hands to a clock that are just different colors that maybe could have gone in Toy Palace, who knows. You can climb in the sandbox. But yeah, we're stuck out here, you can't get back in. So, yeah, it definitely seems like the the glitch doesn't have any sort of advantage to pulling off. It's just something cool to do, except one time, because you can only do it if you have a block. I don't know what other objects you could potentially climb on, any throwable objects, but the block is the only one we've tried that works, or that we would think would work. Like, I don't know if the train would, I wouldn't think the ball or anything, but there's one instance where we found that it actually helps and could be some sort of speedrunning trick, if this level is even part of the speedrunning world records or anything like that. But the level we're going to is Cookie Race, if I can find it. But yeah, there's like a lot of opportunities to use it in other levels, but this is the only other one we've tried. We do have to be quick about this. So it's like one of those you gotta get it first try or it wasn't worth it. Oh, he just threw it straight through. Well, the block tends to go through the gate, like those two did, so it's not as easy to pull off. I don't know how he did it. We only did it once, and the blocks are even there in the cutscene. Interesting. But yeah, I'm not going to pull it off, but it's been done before. So I encourage you to use the blocks and try to see where you can get out of bounds and maybe even help with speedrunning. Maybe I just helped pave way for new world records or something like that, but probably not. I just thought it'd be something interesting to show because I don't think it's been documented by anyone else. So there you go. Enjoy.